Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakudash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening to you. I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Hadashio from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson. And as you can see the title of the lesson is I put GMS runs a tight ship. And really, this is really just inspired off a video that I seen from the elder in Atlanta, and also inspired off this whole matter that's going on with with this guy going around affiliate camps and, basically asking for money and stuff. And, just overall, just watching a couple of lessons, that inspired this lesson. I was watching this lesson earlier. I haven't finished it, but, the elders were going into a heavy topic, man. He put the title of the lesson is Time to Buckle Up and Be on Point in Your Camps. You see, and look, man, GMS, Great Millstone, the way that the apostles and elders and, the way that things are ran over here, we run, GMS runs a tight ship. And you got to know this, man. There's a criteria that look, man, you're not going to be over here with your hands in your pocket, not doing anything, just eating chicken and drinking beers, man. All right? You're going to be here to do the work. We're here to do the work. We're not here to do anything else, man. We're here to do the work. And when I'm going to get the definition for run a tight ship. Because, look, man, we're not here, to just be playing around and having a great time. And we're here to do the work, man. And when you run a tight ship, people that are not going to get with the program, they got to go. Somebody that runs a tight ship. Look, the apostles and elders, they run a tight ship. If you're not down with the program, you could get the fuck on, man. All right? If it's a problem to serve the Lord, if it's a problem to make your lessons, if it's a problem to communicate with brothers, if it's a problem to fall in line with the order and the way that things are done over here, then you could go and do your own thing. But we run a tight ship over here, man. It says, run a tight ship. It says to keep firm control of the way your business or organization is run so that it is well organized and efficient. And that's scriptural, man. We have to do things decently and in order. We can't be all out of order. We got to have a firm grip about why we're actually here, what we're involved in, why are we here? Are we here to party and drink and bullshit and talk about, eat chicken and talk about random things? Or are we here to do the work? Because we're here to efficiently, do this work. We're here to feed the flock. We're here to edify and build up the body, man. That's the whole reason why the Lord even gave us this gift of teaching, man. It says right here, 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. And the way that the apostles and elders run things, they make sure that things are done decently and in order. And the fact that these things are done this way, it allows for things to be done efficiently, for the flock to be fed, for these videos to be put up, for ultimately so this word could go out. Because that's ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, man. This word has to go out. That's our first line of business. And that's the reason why the Lord gave us gifts in the first place, to do the work. It says right here, it says Ephesians 4:8, it says, wherefore he saith, he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men. So let's read why he gave those gifts unto men. Let's see what's the reason, the purpose of why the Lord even, bestowed these gifts. right? It says, now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, right? So when you come into this truth, the Lord gives you a talent, he gives you a gift, he puts you in your proper order, whatever your lot is in this truth, right? Hey, the Lord gave you that so that you could work. Because it says right here, verse 12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. So that's what we're here for ultimately, man, to do the work, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. We're here to do the work of the ministry. We're here to push this word. And that's why we run a tight ship. We're not here to party and bullshit, man. If you want to go do that, go join ISUPK or, Sakari or some. Go to IUIC and their Passover parties. You want to go do that, you go ahead and go have fun, man. But we're occupied in prophecy over here. We run a tight ship. We're paying attention and keeping a close watch. That's the job of a watchman. You see, a watchman would be watching constantly on the wall, making sure, looking for danger. And we're constantly blowing the trumpet over here, man. We run a tight ship for a very specific reason, man. To get this word out. To get this word out, man. All right. I'm going to keep reading some of the definitions. It says, is running a tight ship a compliment? It says, let me see. I don't think that's what I was trying to read. Let me actually go back. It says, run a tight ship. It says, be very strict in managing an organization or operation. And some guys, they might come to, GMS Great Millstone, and, they start to believe a little bit and so on and so forth. And they start coming up to camp, and, eventually they might even become part of the camp. And then when because when you become part of the camp and, you before you even join a camp and you're on the other side of the line, you really, you don't really have responsibilities when you're on the other side of the line. But when you become part of a camp and you officially cross the line, right, you're going to get responsibilities, man. You're not just going to be part of the camp with your hands in your pocket. You're over there a wallflower, no responsibilities. No, man, we're going to give you some responsibilities. Look, the scripture says that much idleness, it says, teacheth evil. So we're not just going to have you all idle, not doing anything, man. We're going to have you right here. We're going to ask you questions. We're going to prove a friend. We're going to see where your mind is at. Are you thinking of the scriptures? Are you reading? Where are your lessons, Zach? You believe, right? Have you finished your role? What are you doing? You want to go make a lesson? Let's go make you start to really see where, because over here, we're just not going to be, letting you do whatever, man. All willy-nilly. Look, man, the scripture says 2 is better than 1. And if we see a brother going off, we're going to correct the brother. We're going to rebuke him. We're going to set him in order. Just like how I would want a brother, if I'm going off, I would want a brother to correct me as well, man. Because that's how things get put back in their proper order. Everything has to be done decently and in order, man. It says right here, Sirach 33 and 27, send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. And that's ultimately, what we've been sent out to do. We've been sent out to labor, to push this word. At any other moment that you start to, think that this truth is about anything else but the work, that's evil, man. Because look at these other camps. These other camps, you think they're giving their camps, telling their men, oh, you got to read the whole roll. Oh, you got to know these breakdowns and these prophecies. Are you teaching? Like, some of these guys don't even make lessons in these other camps. Some of these guys in these other camps, they're just paying attention to whatever, chief priest, high, whatever they're saying, whatever the top guy is saying, right? But they don't send them to labor. They don't, they just got guys in the crowd all idle, man. And we're not here to be idle. We're here to do the work. We're here to labor, man. All right? We're not here to just, because it says much for idleness teacheth much evil. When you're just sitting around not doing anything, that fucks up the business, man. Whatever position you're in and you get put in that position, like let's say you're running a restaurant, right? And the guy that is supposed to check inventory and order the stuff, because when you work at a restaurant, the guy that does inventory, if he doesn't do his job, the whole fucking restaurant is going to go to shit. Because why didn't you order this? Why didn't you order that? Right? If that guy is idle and you put an idle person in that position, obviously everything else is going to go to shit. So when somebody is being idle, you got to go, man. What are you doing? Why aren't you not putting any work, man? See, that's why over here in Great Millstone, guys get offended when they're given responsibilities or whatever. Look, we run a tight ship over here, man. Get with the program, get right or get left, man. If it's a problem for you to feed the flock, get the fuck on, bro. What are you here for then? It's a problem to you to make lessons to feed the flock? If that's a problem for you, bro, go away, man. What are you here for? What are you here for? Because we're here to do the work. Look, man, whatever, once you come to, because when I remember the way I found out about the truth is I walked by camp, and you soon find out, literally, man, soon you quickly find out that, brothers are disciplined, man. And not only that, but brothers, they're going to rebuke you, man. If they see something in you that is off, brothers are going to point it out through the spirit. And if you have the spiritual ears to listen to it, it's going to help you grow in the spirit and become more efficient in this truth. You're going to be meat for the master's use. But that's if and only if you have the ears and if you're willing to bow down your ear and listen to what the brothers are really saying, man. Once you come to great, GMS, Great Millstone, you soon find out, man, that these brothers and the way that the elders and apostles and, whatever respective camp you're part of, brothers run a tight ship, man. Get with the program or get left. There's no in between. There's no gray area. It's either you're hot or you're cold, bro. It's either you're gonna be part of the tight ship that's being ran, or you're gonna get tossed out the ship, man. Because that's the times that we're coming into, man. It's either you're with it or you're not. It's either you're hot or you're cold. All right? Let me see if I got any more precepts. Let me get this one. It says 2 Thessalonians 3:10. It says, let me see. I'm going to start off at verse 7. It says 2 Thessalonians 3:7. It says, for yourselves know how ye ought to follow us. For we behaved not ourselves disorderly among you, neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. So Paul is, he's basically letting them know that what? You should know how you should follow us. You should know what you're supposed to do because we gave you the example. When we were among you, we were laboring and travailing day and night. We were working day and night with our own two hands. You saw how we did not behave ourselves disorderly among you. You yourselves ought to know how to follow us. And the example that the apostles and elders have given us, man, you should know if you're going to come and get affiliated with us, You need to commute. You gotta ask you gotta know how this is ran. You gotta know that the apostles and elders, they run a tight ship. And if that's offensive to you, if that's a problem to you, if you don't like that, if you don't like being, you don't like being under this order or this discipline, you could get on, bro. Go do your own thing. We're not here to hold your hand and make it all nice for you and speak good to you. Nah, bro. We're not here for that. We're here to tell you we're gonna tell you you gotta work for you. I remember this one time, right? Quick testimony. I remember when I was, because when I started to come to camp and stuff, I was like 17 years old. I didn't really have a job. I was just a kid. I was just coming out of high school, man, and I was still basically in high school or whatever. So I didn't have a job or nothing. And I remember when I turned 18, I remember my parents were telling me how I got to start paying this and I got to start paying that and help around the house, and I got to go get a job, and I basically got to help around, and I remember it upset me, man. It upset me because I didn't have no discipline. I didn't have a job. I didn't really, I was just chilling, when you're in that age, your ass is just hanging out with your friends and you're just going out and having a good time and playing basketball and shit at the park. So then I remember I asked the brother, I'm like, man, my parents are telling me that I gotta start paying this and that and blah, 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 and woo, woo. And when I went to go tell that brother, I thought he was gonna tell me what I wanted to hear. What I wanted to hear was, man, you don't gotta pay that. Don't worry about what they're saying, blah, blah. That's what I wanted to hear. But no, man, I quickly found out, bro, that brother told me, I remember he cursed me out. He said, bro, your ass better get a job. Your ass better get a job and start paying them bills, man. Whatever. Look, your ass better get a job and start paying them bills. And he even told me, he said, look, if you're going to be part of the camp, you got to get a job. You can't just be here, living the life of a beggar, man. That's another thing, too. The scripture says, lead not a life of a beggar. We're not here to be, beggars and being all out of order. And here it is, we could we could break down Daniel the second chapter, and we could go into Revelations, and we could break down these heavy scriptures, but our own life is out of order. You don't have a job, you don't got you don't got your own house in order. Here it is, we could go into these deep heavy scriptures and breakdowns, but you can't follow proper instruction, proper order. You have a problem with the way things are ran. Come on, man. We're men. We're grown adults here, man. We're not supposed to be, leading the life of a beggar. It says right here, it says, Sirach 40:28, it says, my son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. So you don't want to be out here, just with, always asking bros for this and that. You got to work, man. And bros are going to tell you that. They're going to set you in order. They're going to tell you like, nah, you got to work, bro. Of course, we're going to help you. Of course, we're going to be there for you. Of course, if you're down bad and, whatever the situation, we're going to help you. But at some point, you as a man of the Lord, if you understand this truth and you have this word and you believe this truth, eventually you got to come on a level where like you realize like, man, I'm a man. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. I got to make a plan. I got to execute it. I got to have faith. You got to come up with a plan and then execute it and pray to the Lord that he helps you, man. And eventually the Lord is going to help you. He's going to help you, that plan to prosper so that you could become more efficient in the camp, within your camp. But if you're just here with your hands in your pocket, you don't like the way things are ran, you have a problem that you got to do lessons, you got to meet a quota, you got to. And this isn't about meeting a quota, man. You know, if you make your 3 lessons for the week, you're just gonna, and the spirit hops on you. Oh, well, I already made my 3 lessons for the week, so I'm just not gonna make this lesson. I already met the quota. No, bro. You're gonna follow the spirit and make that lesson because, you're on fire to do the work, or you should be on fire to do the work. But look, the point of the lesson is, the brothers right here in Great Millstone, we run a tight ship. Either get with it or get left, man. All right? You got to work. You got to put in the work spiritually. And, when you're out here, you got to have a job, man. All right? It says 2 Thessalonians 3 and 9. It says, not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us. You see? So they did it to be an example unto them. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. So if you're not working, it says, if any would not work, neither should he eat. What are you doing, man? You're a full-grown man, and you gotta go work. All right? You gotta go work, man. You gotta do things in order. All right? Look, the brothers over here in GMS, they run a tight ship, man. They run a tight ship. And brothers don't just tell you these things because, just to tell you them. Brothers keep themselves under subjection as well. You don't just think that brothers are just cursing you out, bro. You gotta get a job, and bro, you gotta do this, you gotta do. Bros keep themselves under subjection as well. They keep their body under subjection. They keep themselves under that discipline. So brothers are not just being hypocrites, man. Brothers are doing the same thing as well, man. They're doing their lessons. They have a job. Some brothers, I'm thinking about a specific brother right now. This brother got, a wife and children and a job, and he still makes time to go to camp and go to class and do this and do that, and he's always making lessons. It's like, damn, bro. I want to, it's like, damn, I want to have that level of discipline, man. And craving that discipline, that's the first step. Now you got to make a plan and execute it to get to that level, man, to find your own balance so that you could be efficient in the camp. Look, the point of the lesson is, look, man, we're here to run a tight ship, and you got to get with the program, man. Whatever adjustments that you have to do to get with the tight ship that's being ran, make those necessary adjustments, man. But don't be here, with your hands in your pocket, being a wallflower and thinking like, that, that everything is just going to come your way, bro. It's not. You gotta work. You gotta labor. You gotta fight. How do you expect to even understand the scriptures if you're not picking up the scriptures and laboring in them to really find the answers, to really read, to really, understand what's being said? Everything, it requires hard work and labor, man, especially this truth. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. The honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom and Abba.